Hi Medical Squad, welcome to my channel Medicalology. My name is Jacqueline Janjil, and today I will be discussing all the resources you need to pass Step 1. And next I will go over the resources I absolutely love and I will vouch for them. And I will go over the pros and cons about each platform that I use. And last I will talk about what would I have done differently if I was studying for STEP right now. So let's get started. So the number one resource I would say that all students should use, definitely Pathoma. I know we heard that time and time again, but guys, if you don't use Pathoma, I really wish the best for you because he covers all of the pathophys that you need. He is brilliant, Dr. Qatar. He's been around for a very long time, and Pathoma 1 through 3 is very crucial, vital. Guys, don't sleep on Pathoma 1 through 3 because it will be all over your exam. And I got easy test points just doing IL-1, TNF alpha, also the process of wound healing. Everything that he says is high yield, write it down. If it's not in the textbook and he's saying it, you need to write those things down, okay? Next, I would say Sketchy. Guys, everyone knows I am a Sketchy queen. I love Sketchy. I will use Sketchy until to the death of me, until I'm attending, until I am a resident. I love Sketchy so much because it helped me so much with my UR question, also the MBMEs, because they're brilliant. Like, I don't understand. Whoever's over the team for Sketchy, just give them an applaud because they are amazing. To this day, I can remember the Pseudomonas video. I remember there was a dog, a Dalmatian there was the Pseudomonas person inside the tub. There's a green, there's a can with diabetes, which stands for diabetes. Guys, I can literally say the sketch because it just pops up in my mind. Also, when I didn't like the Sketchy videos, because I'm not going to say, oh, all of their videos are amazing. Some of them are really good, and some of them I would give like a 50%. I will go into Physio. So what I would do, I will alternate between Sketchy and Physio because whatever videos that Sketchy had, Physio had it all as well, but sometimes they were better. So that's what I would do. Even the diuretic for pharmacology, Physio, it's really good. If people don't know, I don't think a lot of people know about Physio sketches because they're really good as well. The diuretic, I remember for the loop diuretics, even for the thiazide, they made such an amazing sketch. The renal part, phenomenal. Okay, guys, last I would say the top 3 resources. I would say the last one would be first aid. Guys, we all know that first aid should be our Bible in medical school, especially when you're studying for STEP. I'm not gonna lie. After I was done with STEP, I went over the pharmacology and literally all of the mnemonics that was there, they asked you straight on easy questions. Like, it was so easy. I missed those because I didn't pay so much attention to first aid. That's something that I would have done differently, but that's something I'm going to talk about at the end. But guys, again, Pathoma, write it down, Sketchy/Physio whenever you don't find a great video. And last would be first aid, okay? So let's go to my number 1 resources that I would say definitely helped me pass Step 1. I would say bootcamp. Everyone knows that I love bootcamp. I will vouch for bootcamp because Dr. R. Ruvos, I don't want to say his name wrong, but he is amazing. He is the best person that I met while I was studying for Step 1 because the way he integrates the systems together was so helpful to me. I know a lot of people, I've been watching YouTube before I started studying for STEP. I watched a lot of students and they would always vouch for bootcamp. I was like, okay, this is a newer resource. I don't know if I should spend time on that platform, but guys, I love bootcamp. He is amazing. The cardiology section was amazing. The biochemistry, amazing. Everything was amazing. I didn't spend so much time on bootcamp because I learned about it later on. But if I would have changed something, that's something I'm going to talk about again. I would use more of bootcamp than the other resources that I use. But now I would say bootcamp is my number 1 resource. It's a one-stop shop. You can literally have practice questions. You have tags at the end. Guys, bootcamp is just amazing. And one thing that I say I love, okay, I guess I'm going to my pros. So yeah, so it's a one-stop shop. The practice questions. So I later on found out that bootcamp has practice questions on their platform. I didn't know that. So at the end, I would say 2 weeks before I sat for STEP, I started incorporating 40 questions of bootcamp, and then I'll do 40 questions of UWorld because I just love their platform and how they ask the questions. I was not overwhelmed with the length of STEP because bootcamp prepared that for me. I didn't get so much of that on UWorld, but bootcamp, they had a long stem, a lot of labs that you don't need to read, and that's how you incorporate and that's how you digest what is important and what is not important. And what I also love about Dr. R and all the other doctors who are on the platform, after each video, they will talk, like they'll have a question style question stem, right? And they'll go over and they'll let you know, this is what is high heel, this is what you need to pull out of the question stem. And it was just great to understand how the doctors digest the questions. So guys, definitely bootcamp number 1. Second, I already talked about sketchy and physio. That would be my number 2. My third one, I would say the Mel Medicine. I don't think I'm saying his name right as well. But guys, he is so smart. He is so funny. I love him. His platform is just amazing. And what I love about it, let's say it is free. Free. His platform is free. So guys, let me go back to bootcamp. So I said everything about the pros, right? The cons, I would say since because it's a newer platform, they don't have all the videos that you need for passing step. Like they have majority of the videos, but not all the videos. So if you're searching for something, sometimes you're not going to find it. So I would say that is the con. But everything else, I would say you could substitute the videos with the other resources that you have. Like I would say physio, or I would say BNB. So guys, let me go to sketchy. I already spoke about that. I already vouch for it. Trust me, you'll remember the sketch. It's phenomenal. Substitute it with physio videos. Cons, some of them are not that great, but you can go to physio to substitute it. Okay, so Mel Medicine, like I was saying, that's my guy. Number 1 pro, it's free. It's free. What I think you guys should do, you guys should incorporate your study, your step studying with his PDFs. Like his PDFs are golden. I love his immunobiochemistry. I understand those questions so well. Even the renal physiology, his PDF, I got all my questions right because he's just, guys, go read his PDFs. So he'll tell you what to focus on. He will tell you this is what is important. They're not going to ask you this question literally because step 1 is pass fail now. All the information that they asked back then, I think they're asking more of the high yield. I had low yield questions as well, but focus on the bigger picture when you're studying for step. And also he had a risk factor PDF that helped me tremendously, guys. Trust me, get on his website. I'll drop it below. Guys, make sure you use his platform. So my cons, I would say, is that he has so many PDFs. It's a lot, and it's a lot to digest. Some of his pages are 30 pages long, 40 pages long, but guys, if you start using it in the beginning stages, you won't be overwhelmed. And guys, trust me, he will people say that they inflate your scores on MBMEs, but it's like, it's really not. If you know the information, you're gonna get the questions right. Okay, so guys, I talked about sketchy, and then my last one, I would say my 4th is Dirty Medicine. I love Dirty Medicine. Everybody knows about Dirty Medicine. If you don't, it's okay. He's a person on YouTube. He has a platform, and it's free. Whenever it's free, you need to grab it because you don't have to pay anything. I really have no cons for him because he's the best. His mnemonics are so helpful. Even for pharmacology, for the diabetes drugs, he is just amazing. I love Dirty Medicine. If you're watching the video, applause to you as well. I don't have anything bad to say about, not bad, I would say cons for Dirty Medicine. Last resource I would say, which is my number 5, and a lot of people probably say, you know what, I don't know about you, Jacqueline, I'm gonna put that as my number 1. You should if you want, but for me personally, BNB was my last choice because his videos are long. They're helpful, but I think you should only use BNB if you have a deficit in a certain system. Say for instance, you have a deficit in renal and you want to digest the material, then I would say go to BNB. His videos are long. I would say it's outdated because step 1 is pass fail. I believe that the material that our other students had to study, they don't really stress that much on step 1. So you need to know the bigger picture of step 1. I'm not saying to avoid it, but some of the things that he talks about, they don't really show up on QBanks, but he's good for systems that you don't understand. Okay, so he goes in depth. He is if you have a deficit in a specific system, then I'll say use his platform. But if you have a generalized foundation of medicine, of like the foundations of medicine, and you don't need in-depth digestion, I'll say, then BNB would be my last resort. Okay, that was my last, I would say that's my top. Okay guys, So again, I would say my top resource, I would say boot camp, then Sketchy, Mel Medicine, Dirty Medicine, and B.A.B. is my last choice, okay? So what would I have done differently, right? So I would say, one, use my first aid book. I felt like I slept on my first aid book. I don't know what I was doing, but I was not incorporating my Step 1 book as much as I was supposed to, because after Step, I was going through the first aid book and all of the answers were right there in my face, especially the mnemonics, guys. Pay attention to the mnemonics, because the mnemonics are very, very helpful for and easy for us to cross out certain answers, okay? So I would have used my first aid more often than I did. I used it, but I wouldn't say I used it 100%. So again, incorporate Mel Medicine early. His PDFs are golden. Third, bootcamp as my main resource. And I will say main resources because they're just, guys, they're amazing. And let me tell you why I really agree with bootcamp, because it's like a specialty. He has doctors or professors teaching specific subjects that they are they can achieve. Like, they know that they will excel, biochemistry, cardio, renal. They have specific doctors working in different systems because they are well at that subject, and that's the reason why I love it. And you get different perspective on different doctors, and you don't have to hear the same voice every single video. I love bootcamp. Okay, guys, I'm going on a tangent, but I just really love bootcamp. And all my friends who's taking Step now, I always tell, just try to incorporate 40 questions of bootcamp question bank, because they're amazing. And then lastly, I would say keep up with my Anki cards. Guys, it got so overwhelming. I had thousands of Anki cards, so many decks. Guys, I would say I would keep up with my Anki cards for pharmacology. That's what I would have done differently. Definitely pharmacology. Everything else, I was able to cross out. So pharmacology, Anki, I would say yes. And you know who has a Anki card deck for it? What's his name? The Mel Medicine. Golden. Let's see. So let's go back to my Q banks. We all know that the Q banks that everyone knows about is UWorld, and that's it. Everyone knows about UWorld. And I think there's RX and Amboss. I didn't use those, but I did 80% of UWorld. I like their question bank, but I don't know. I just love bootcamp questions. I felt more prepared for a Step because of the questions that they asked me. I just love their question bank because it stimulated Step 1 to me. The labs, the question, how they asked the questions, and it was great. I love the fact that I incorporated 40 questions of bootcamp and 40 questions of UWorld, and I did that for the last 3 weeks of my dedicated, and that was so helpful. Even risk factors, I don't believe that they probably did. I just don't remember because I did 87%. I don't know if I learned about the risk factors early on while I was studying for Step, but I guess it was just a refresher, just opening a new Q bank and getting a different perspective of how they can ask the questions on Step 1. So guys, I talk really fast. I am Haitian, so I don't know if you gotta watch it on probably like 0.5. I'm playing, but guys, that is all. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Again, these are my personal opinions. You guys know yourself best, so you should incorporate this how you want it. But for me personally, bootcamp, I just give them the crown. They are the crown for pass fail for USMLE. I believe, like, again, BNB was probably the crown back then, but as of now, I think bootcamp, they're the champs. And I believe as the years goes on, they'll add more videos. So definitely, if you are studying for Step 1, I feel like your main resource should be bootcamp. And then you can put BNB, because if they don't go in depth, too much in depth on the system that you want, you can rotate to BNB and he'll go in depth, you know? Again, Pathoma, Sketchy, guys, I'm just gonna wrap it up. Anyways, my name is Jacqueline Jangil. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Bye.